So we're checking out WRC 6 on VR, but this is not the main feature this year. This is just a tech demo, a prototype. Really nice. I feel a bit dizzy right now. Yeah. But this is not the final game. This is not going to be at day one, right?
For the VR features, no, but that's some technology we have now, so we can use it, I think, when we want and when we decide it's because you have to optimize the game properly for it, all the game. But when it's okay, we could release the VR version.
But of course, there is a whole bunch of new features you're presenting here at E3. Yeah. You've presenting new graphics and new stuff. What can you tell us about that?
Yes, we have now the WRC 6 will be on PS4, PC and Xbox One. So there's no low generation console, so we can push the performance and change the visual of the game. So now it looks better. It's deeper, and we change most of our technology for the roads, for the trees and vegetation, for the environment. So all this have been enhanced. So it's better looking, but it also changed the gameplay. It's a better gameplay because we change the shape of the roads, and the border of the road are more dangerous now. So this is influencing the gameplay, and this is something that makes the game even more rally than it was for WRC 5.
The physics engine was actually rather impressive last year. What are you doing in terms of physics and simulation in order to better improve the results?
We improve the engine by some elements has to be improved, like the suspensions, like the differentials, and all this stuff have been reworked, and now is more precise and it's more simulation. So you can now really feel the change of mass in when you brake and when you turn on the cars. So this is something that is more realistic but also more agile, that makes the gameplay it's changed a little but still very enjoyable, but it's more precise and more realistic.
You mentioned the graphics improvements. Is that the thing you got from the feedback from the community that you had to improve the most in the game?
Yes, when we talk about the shape of the road, for example, people were saying that we have two flat roads and no danger on the borders, for example. That's something that we really want to change for this WRC 6. That's what we made. We focused on this kind of stuff, so we can the roads, all the textures have changed, and also all the layout and the level design have changed for this opus of WRC 6. There's countries, for example, like Sweden, that have been totally remade, more in the spirit of the country. People were saying we have too much turns, for example, in WRC 5. So this WRC 6 Sweden is better and is more like the actual stage of the championship.
And China, you had, yes, China here.
This year in WRC, China is coming in the competition, so we have it on WRC 6. So that means one more country, more stage in the game, and also all the stages have been reworked so that have been done so they are longer than they were in WRC 5. So you have more stages and longer stages, so the game is bigger.
Now that you mentioned content, we really enjoyed the simulation, the physics, as I said, and the driving itself. But perhaps the content, I mean, we could have done with a more comprehensive career mode. I don't know if that's something you're working on as well.
Of course, yes. The career mode of WRC 5, people really enjoyed it. We have good feedback on it. So we keep the same system, the same structure as a career mode, but we go deeper in most of the elements of the career. The contracts now are more precise. You can have objectives on rally, you can have objectives on the season or more seasons. You can also have in different. We can also in the career mode contracts. Your mentality of the team is very important, and the morale of the team will change depending on what the player is making, and will change how the team will react. So all these elements are pushed deeper in WRC 6 to give something more realistic in terms of experience for the player.
And anything more on multiplayer or some online component?
This time on WRC 6 we may also we are featuring the split screen mode. That means you can play with two players can play at the same time on the console, on the same console, on the level. So that's something that is players of racing games really loved. And this time we spend time to develop this feature, so players can stay in the same room on the same console and enjoy playing WRC 6 at the same time.
And another thing we loved was the sounds, the engine sound, the sounds of the cars. How did you develop that, and is there any improvement we can expect in this year?
Yes, we roughly change every engine sounds of the game, so it will sound better. And we also, like in the change we talked about in the handling engine, we also enhanced elements like the turbo. So turbo now is more realistic also, so it will influence sounds. So the sounds are more realistic also on WRC6.
And there is something new as well to the pace notes, right?
Yes, now we manage two different systems of pace notes. The pace note system have evolved. It's better. Visually, it have changed. Also, it's more intuitive, and we manage two levels of pace note for people that want, I say, simple information or more complex information. So both systems are possible to use in the game.
All right. So you're not launching with the VR version day one, but you're launching on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. When?
Exactly. It's beginning of October.
Are you planning on doing the VR thing with the PSVR headset, or you're just experimenting with PC so far?
We now have a game that is working in VR, so we'll see. Today we don't have much information about how it will work on the consoles. So we are waiting to get more information to know how we can do that.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.